Hello, hello, reading more of Boku no Hero Academia. A very delightful color spread as we see our 1A crew dining and whining along with some special guests like Lemillion and Quirk Reverser Horn Girl. Yes, that's her name. What's her name? I don't know. Erica or something? This arc is getting really friggin' crazy. I'm very impressed with how they kind of pulled this off. That at first they set up these like multiple simultaneous raids happening. They had a really great sense of kind of war going on as they jumped back and forth. And then just when you kind of thought you could understand the rhythm of what was going on, what was being built up, the pacing of different fights being introduced and resolved, everything kicked into an entirely different gear when the impartially perfected what's his name? Oh my god, Tomura-san, Shigaraki Tomura revived, and then everything changed. They managed to really, really show the impact that this one entity could have on the battle by completely throwing out this kind of meticulous structure that they had built up, a structure that's really familiar to shonen readers reading these types of war type arcs. Something that was done very impressively was then annihilated by the force of the character. I think that's just such a great way to show how powerful the character is. This gigantic subversion of the expected structure. And then, of course, the other raid, similarly, Gigantomachia, throwing everything out the window, throwing all of the kind of fights we had anticipated out the window. The same sort of effect. But what I think is even cooler is that they could have just left this as like, then they were devastated. The heroes suffered a massive defeat. And it would almost be like an anticlimax. And sure, it would make the power awe-inspiring and make us wonder how it would ever be dealt with in future arcs. But this arc just presses forward anyways. They're doing their damnedest to fight these overwhelmingly broken, imba, superpowered characters. Eraserhead staring down Tomura and making sure that his disintegration powers don't run rampant. The kids and a team of pro heroes doing everything they can to slow down Gigantomachia's rampage. It's really amazing because you get both the awe-inspiring sense of like the entire scope of this battle has changed, but the battle still continues. It's quite inspiring almost in a way. Okay, so let's plunge into it. The end of the last one, Momo and company were coming up with some crazy team tactic to figure out how to stop Gigantomachia. So 1B's Mudman making a bunch of little mud sprouts or something. I think, oh, I see what's happening. He's turning the ground into mud, so all the trees and stuff are kind of falling into it. The lizard lady, who can split herself up and fly around, kind of like Buggy's Chop Chop Fruit, is scoping out where Gigantomachia is coming, I guess. I don't know if she has another role. Blue fire was coming off his back, so that must mean the League of Villains is with him. That's right. A bunch of the League of Villains were riding around on Gigantomachia's back. They know that because Gigantomachia is awake, that Tomura is awake, that this hero raid on their headquarters means kind of nothing. They're ready to continue. Everybody's equipped with Momo had made sedatives, and Midnight was like, I know this is against the rules, but you can go ahead and make it. And I vaguely recall something like this, that there's certain things that Momo is not allowed to use her powers to create. So I think like drugs, things that affect humans, stuff like that, were off limits. And they're like, whatever, it's Gigantomachia, it's barely human. Sedative would be administered via injection. Some of the size would require 30 liters of the solution. No opening to give him injection. Try to give him an oral dose. Prove effective since it's undiluted. One of us can toss it into his mouth, but they'll sedate it. Of course, Mineta, the perv, super concerned about Midnight. He's the biggest Midnight fan. He's got plenty to teach us back at school. Because at first they were like, yeah, why can't Midnight sedate him? If sedating him is our plan here. This is a pretty awesome shot of Gigantomachia. I love the big ha 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 sound effects. He seems to be genuinely enjoying this now. It's not just some ancient grudge compelling him, but a genuine thrill of battle, I think, now inspires him that his master Tomura has resurrected. his master insofar as, you know, like All for One was his master, and now All for One is represented by Tomura. Anyways, Mountain Lady putting up a good fight, really showing that she is actually extremely strong. The underrated power of just hugeness. Oh, I thought this was a two-pager. Okay, she manages to trip up Gigantomachia. He collapses into the mountainside. This is their shot. They can get some sedative into his mouth. Everyone starts firing away. Thorn Jesus lady here, name forgotten, trying to bind him. It's cool, like, you know, we see these powers in action during arcs like the Class A versus B fight and the sports festival and stuff. And it's more like, instead of just saying, those powers are irrelevant at this scale, it's more and more that they're like niche. And if you think about the essence of that power, it still has some effect even on the mightiest of foes. I think that's a really cool way to write this. Like, yeah, her vine whips and stuff, her constraining whips, it's still good. It still works. Those are still really, really tough. She's still able to do this one thing. Okay, the strongestest of them, just trying to pull his jaw down. It's his neck muscles versus several of their all muscles. Okay, so the villain's up on top. Obviously could interfere, but they're gonna do their damnedest. I don't know how this will work. Like, as I said, their powers are quite niche at this stage, at this level of power. I don't know if any of these people are capable of just going 1v1 against these villains. Yeah, like Dabi easily blasts away with fire. Oh, this... Ooh. So... I forget how this power works exactly, this one Class B power. Creating targets that they managed to latch them on all of these villainous cadres, and now Kaminari can just nuke them, electro-nuke it. Try to suck up the electric attack of the villa. Now depleted my stock of seeds. Okay. Trying all sorts of stuff. We see Invisible Girl here fighting. Everyone just leaping in towards his jaws. Oh, snap. But just his exhalation, just him is strong enough to blow them all back. Hey, why does it still say page 1? What the heck? What? Obviously I'm not on page 1 anymore. What in the world? Excuse me? And like, oh, wait, no. I don't understand. What is this looking at? Is it not like live updating? What the heck? Why does it still say page 1? I'm sorry. This is like a kink I should have worked out. It still says page 1. I don't get it. New tab. New tab? What? Should be... What in the world? This is so weird. Anyways, I'm sorry. That's kind of inconvenient if you can't see when I'm changing pages, I guess. Page 1. Capture method automatic. Yeah. Okay. But it still says page 1. Like, what is this even showing? Like, what the frig is going on? Like, I should be able to find... Is it because it's... What the heck? Enable preview, not lock preview. Now it's lock preview, but we don't want that. I am so confused. I don't know. I'll try to get this working before we record more videos. But Yeah, that's weird. That's really weird. Page 1. Excuse me? I don't understand. I do not understand. If I do this, this is referring to that page. So I can find that. And then, you know, if I change it, it changes, right? It's like live updating. And that's the same. It's just the same as this one. So I don't get it. Oh, and now it works. Okay, all right, sweet. It just works. Okay. Sorry, that took a little bit. But now it just works, so it's all fine. Okay, where were we? What was going on? He was gonna nuke everybody, Kaminari. Then, yeah, Gigantomantia exhaled their immediate strike force of trying to get sedatives in his mouth isn't gonna work. This is another cool shot. I think that they're really doing a good job making Gigantomachia just this unique force in the world. It has like kind of a kaiju Godzilla-esque energy, especially with the spikes on the back, of course. Just the way it moves around, and it has this like simplicity and how it thinks and talks and stuff. It just really like it's reflected in the art as well, is what I'm trying to say. That they build up this unique character, the hugeness, the personality, and then they make sure to depict it in a unique way that reflects that same intensity of just this mountain rising up, the top of its head silhouetted in darkness. Quirk that transforms morale into physical energy. Another that renders him numb to pain. A whole bunch more. All of these quirks help him last on the battlefield. Just like Yujiko told us, guy really is our guardian. So Gigantomachia has these quirks. Gigantomachia has a quirk that transforms morale into physical energy. Strange. Very strange. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is looking bad for our kids. He's getting up again. All of their restraining efforts are dead. We're not done. Place explosives deep under the softened ground. If he sinks even lower, we'll stand a chance. So yeah, Spinner is excited at first. Whoa, Gigantomachia could tunnel! That'd be so cool! And then, yeah, no. You guys can't survive. Just being dragged underground. Like we were to bring us along. He's being held back because of us. He might actually be at disadvantage now. Okay. Whole bunch of heroes swarming in on top of the mountains. Mountain Lady grappling again with Gigantomachia amid this forest fire. It's tough. It's tough to tell the tide of the battle. You know, it's very compelling in that regard. Like they haven't trivialized Gigantomachia's strength. It reminds me a lot of against the battle against Oars in One Piece. Just that they were so careful to never let the terror of Oars slip. That there was always this chance that like nothing was working, that his physical stamina was just beyond what we could comprehend, that he could just wake up and squish everybody. It's that same feeling of like, geez, is any of this ever gonna work? It's really compelling, and it's so satisfying once you have that realization of like, oh, wait a minute, like we are actually making progress. He's trying to cram something in his mouth. They must have a way to stop him. Trust in you, little fledglings of UA, and there she is, the alien queen, covering herself in acid, moving in fast with the sedative in hand, jumping through the fire and the flames. Okay. It's like, will that one little bottle really work? I thought the idea would be like, oh, we have to get in at least 100 of these before he's sedated. Because they said something like 34 liters for an injection, which is insane. And oral metabolism, like oral bioavailability, is much, much lower than being injected. So you'll need even more for an oral dose equivalent to that 34 liter But then they said something about, oh, it's undiluted. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I should expect this to work or not. Because it's like the big play, you know. This is like what they were trying to do, is get the sedative in his mouth. But again, it feels so in line with how Gigantomachia has been depicted that he would just be like, whatever, here I go again. So we'll see, we'll see. It's so hard to see where this entire arc is going at this point. It feels like the heroes are just totally screwed, right? Like, how could they ever win against Gigantomachia, Awakened Tomura, tons and tons of other Nomu and stuff running around? It's hard to imagine them winning. Also, from a plot point, if they won, wouldn't the series kind of be over? That's like pretty much all of our major villains taken care of in one fell swoop if they win this war. So I think it'll probably be fought to some sort of stalemate where the heroes take on significant losses and the state of the world shifts again to kind of a reign of terror by Tomura, which I think would be pretty interesting. So I think that's kind of where it's going to go, but it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Okay, let's look forward to the next issue, which should be in a week. I'll see you in a week. Bye-bye.